Everybody, and welcome to the Matrix Fitness live workout. My name's Matt Gleed. Today we've got a great workout for you. Let me explain what we're going to be looking at today. Once we've got you warmed up and ready for the workout, we're going to take you through 3 sections. Each section, what we're going to do is 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds recovery in between exercises. Now the first 3 exercises, we're going to focus on mobility today. Then what we're going to do is we're going to focus on some core strength. And then what we're going to do is we're going to focus on power and fitness. And believe me, that third round of exercises will leave you out of breath if you stick with them. So here's what's going to happen. Let's get you prepared for the workout. You're just going to need a little bit of space around you. You may decide that you might like to use a mat for our second round of exercises when we start to focus on the core. And you might like to have a drink nearby you as well. So let's begin with getting you warmed up and ready to move. So to begin with, just start taking your arms nice and reaching outwards across your body. Now this is a great way of mobilizing through the shoulders, starting to feel like you can start to move through the shoulder range. And now when we start to focus on some of the mobility exercises in the workout, we're going to start to look at some movements which incorporates this overhead work. So I know a lot of people are going to be sat down and spending a lot of time in seats, and you might be getting out and doing some activities these days, but to develop a little bit of strength work is going to be important. Now let's pivot on the feet and just start to rotate from side to side. Your hands are going to be around about chest height to shoulder height. And what I want you to do is just to free up a little bit of movement into your spine. Just feel what it's like to get in a bit of rotation, free up the joints, and just start to move in a bigger circle around the body. Now, let's take you into a little half squat. So what I want you to do is just to lower your hips down towards your heels. Now start to take this squat to whatever feel you want it to be. So if you want to go a little bit lower, that's absolutely fine. If you want to develop a little bit more depth, then please start to introduce that now. I'm going to get you to do a very deep squat in our first round of exercises. So just start to progress and start to feel what it's like to get your hips down into that deep position. But at the top of the movement, just squeeze your bum cheeks together. So deep position, squeeze your bum cheeks at the top, just so we can start to get the activation of all those muscles starting to work as well. Excellent. Now let's take a step back lunge. So creating a little bit of space behind you, take a large step backwards, lower the back knee down towards the floor. Try and keep your spine nice and straight. So if that helps you looking straight ahead at the screen or looking at something on the wall, just to help keep your eyes in a nice straight alignment, then that would be great. So we're just going to start to prepare your body for the workout. Now the first round of mobility work, we've got some really interesting exercises that you can start to use even when at some point we get back to gyms. These are great mobility movements to start to get you ready for maybe some Olympic lifting and other big movements as well. Now, please imagine you've got a skipping rope. I just want you pushing off the floor. Okay? Now, the goal here is just to get your heart rate up a little bit more, but also to activate your muscles. Now, later on in our third round of exercises, I'm going to ask you to do some explosive and powerful movements. So we want to make sure that you're ready for those. Now, we will build you up to doing those, but I want you to get your heart rate up a little bit more at the moment. Now just scissor the feet forwards and backwards, as if you're still jumping that skipping rope. And this will just start to pick up your heart rate and get all of those nerve endings fired up, ready for some big explosive movements later in our workout as well. Now let's do a little punch combination here. So hands up to the side of the head, jab, cross, jab. We're going to jump 180 degrees, jab, cross, jab. Now the idea behind here, we're just starting to get a bit of mobility in the shoulder and also activate the muscles. But at the same time, notice my feet are pivoting every single time I throw that punch. Now the goal here is just to get a bit of ankle mobility, but at the same time to activate these muscles in a nice, quick, sharp, directional way, just punching around about head height and bring those hands back to the sides of your cheeks, keeping yourself nice and active here. Loosen up a little bit. Let's do some knee strikes. So athletic start, pivot to one side, drive your knee into big movements. Once you've done 3, pivot your feet over to the opposite side. Now you can see I'm reaching with my arms just so I can start to drive into a bigger range of movement. Good. Let's do 3 more. Drive your knees up nice and high. Good. And relax there. Okay. Now you're going to need a little bit of space. I'm going to move sideways so you can see the action. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to hinge from your hips, lean forwards, and walk your hands along the floor into a press-up position, and then push through your hands and bring yourself all the way back up. Join in with me, hinging from the hips, moving the hands out in front of you, into a press-up position, and then walk the hands backwards and stand up nice and tall. Every single time you move into this, I want you to just be mindful about trying to keep your legs to be as straight as possible. Now, if you're tight in your hamstrings, it's absolutely fine and very normal. Just need to bend your knees a little bit. That's not a problem. This is a great mobility exercise, and if you are struggling with a little bit of flexibility, you'll notice it, but it's absolutely fine. You have to work on the weaknesses in order to get yourself fitter and better as well. Okay, let me show you the next exercise. Feet in an athletic wide position, toes turned out slightly. Bring your hands down through the center of the feet, down into a deep position. Bring your hands wide, and then one hand reaches up, bring it back down. Opposite hand reaches up, and then bring yourself back up to a standing position. Okay, let's go through this again. So down to the floor, push your hands wide, one hand goes up, and let your eyes follow your fingertips. Come back to the center, and stand tall. So deep squat, hands push to the outside of the thighs, and then reach one hand up, and then to the opposite side, stand tall. Let's go again. Deep squat, hands to the outside, pushing against the thighs, one hand reaches up, and then the other. Take your time, work on this mobility. Now remember, the whole focus is to try to challenge the range of movement you've got. We're not working with any load, it's just about muscle activation and joint movement. Okay, relax there. The next exercise is called a Hindu. We're going to come down to the floor, placing the hands onto the floor, take a press-up position. Draw your hips back towards your heels. Now try to bend at your elbows, scrape your face down towards the floor, then your chest, bring yourself back into the dart position. From here, bend your elbows, scrape along the floor, and then pull back. Now just keep that mobility work coming through the spine, so you can start to challenge your range. Good work. Okay, let's keep bending at the elbows. Lower your chest towards the floor, scraping your chest, your nose, your chin, really close to the floor, and then push yourself through the hands to get back up. Now once you start to learn the motion here, you're about to start to work a little bit quicker as we go through all these exercises the second time with your new knowledge of how to do them. Okay, so just relax there. Let's bring yourself back up to standing. Let's take you through those three exercises again, starting with our walkouts, then the Olympic overhead lift, and then the Hindu. So from here, hinging from your hips, walking your hands forwards into a press-up position. From that press-up position, walk your hands back and start bringing yourself up nice and tall. Let's go again. Hinge from the hips, walk your hands forwards into that strong press-up position. Then walk your hands backwards and bring yourself all the way back up to a standing. So this is a really great exercise for hip flexion. Into that extended hip position and walking your hands back up, starting to work on the flexibility and the mobility of the hamstrings and hips. Now, if you find that you standing up in these tall positions is a bit too much, you can just walk yourself forwards and backwards, but I would encourage you to bring yourself into that full range of movement just to challenge your movement a little bit more as well. Bring yourself all the way up. Okay, shake it out. Let's try this Olympic warm-up for me. So feet turned out, hands together, lower your hips down towards your heels. Now pull your hands wide so that your elbows are in contact with your thighs. Reach one hand up, place it back down, opposite hand comes up, bring it back down to your inner thigh, hands together, stand tall. Now you can start to move at whatever speed you feel comfortable, but the focus is not the speed of the movement, it is the depth of the movement here. The bigger the range, so the deeper you go, the higher your hand lifts up overhead, that's going to challenge your mobility. And that's the goal of this exercise. All about mobility in this first round. So reaching high, getting that big range of movement, and then bring yourself back up again. You've got plenty of time to chase fitness in the third round of exercises that we go to. So just treat every single round as a different focus. Today's first round is mobility. Okay, relax there. Loosen up your arms and legs. Let's get you ready for those Hindus. So, press up position. Draw your hips back towards your heels. Bending at your elbows, nose, chin, chest, and then hips. Straight along the floor, reset yourself. Let's go again. Bend at the arms. Be strong as you push yourself out of that deep range. So again, starting to build that mobility into strength work. And then we're going to focus on your core. So bend the elbows, chin, chest, hips, push yourself all the way back up again. Take your time. Don't just do a half rep here. Try to take yourself through that big range of movement so you can get your movement better. There might be some clunking of hips. There might be some holding of breath, but try to breathe through this. Holding your breath in exercising will never last for long. Good, okay, let's release that there. Okay, that's the first round of mobility work. You should probably find that your heart rate's up and that you feel like your arms are being challenged a little bit. Let's get the mat and let's get ready for a plank position down onto the floor. So starting in a press-up position, hands underneath the shoulders, up we go straight away, and we're just going to tap the foot over from one side to the other. Now, I don't want you just doing this exercise and making it easy. I want you to take an easy exercise and make it hard. So pull the shoulder blades closer together. Squeeze your butt cheeks and your quads tight. So you're bracing through your core strong. Look down at the imaginary line between your fingertips. That'll make sure you're in a really good, safe position. Now your hips don't change in height. So just tap the foot from one side to the other. You can see my foot's just going off the mat and then over to the opposite side. But my goal is to keep working for my upper body here. So keep it as a strong position and relax there. Now the second exercise is called a Superman. Often gets named in different ways, so let me show you what you're going to look for. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Opposite hand and leg extend out. Bring yourself back to the center, over to the opposite side. Let's get working on these. And again, each time, make sure your hand comes back to underneath your shoulder. If your hand starts to reach a little bit further forward, what often happens is your range of movement starts to come from your arm and your leg rather than extending through the spine. This is not an exercise that's going to make you lose weight. This is not an exercise that's going to give you a high heart rate. This is slow, controlled core, developing the control and the engagement of muscles so that way then you can perform other exercises better when you need them. Okay, so doing exercises like this is the sort of thing that's going to help get your lower back and core stronger. So when you start to do powerful exercises, you'll have this control crowd to work with. Okay, you've got another 10-second breather. Let me show you the renegade row. Press up position. One hand comes into the shoulder, press it back down onto the floor, and then alternate the hand with a nice slow walking hand position. So just bring the hand up towards the shoulder, lower back down. Now again, I want your hips to stay still. We shouldn't see your hips feeling like they're on a cruise ship, floating all around the place. You want a strong plank position. You bring the hand to the shoulder, but you work hard to keep all of your body still. It's about making this easy exercise hard so that it becomes a difficult exercise because you're working on the exercise. Don't just do an exercise just to keep your heart rate up. Do an exercise that makes you stronger in other movements. Doing a renegade row like this massively helps you to have the ability to do press-ups and other exercises which are tough. Okay, check those out. Let's do those 3 exercises again. Strong core is always about control. First exercise is the plank position, where you're tapping the toes out to the sides. You can go on your elbows if you need to, or join me on the hands. Let's go. Press up position, one foot taps to the side, and alternate. Keep your eyes looking down at your hands, keeping your hips as still as possible. We don't want you getting seasick from them moving around too much. Keep a nice controlled position. Can you think about squeezing your shoulder blades together? Can you think about squeezing your butt cheeks and your quads tight when you're doing this exercise? If your hands are starting to get a little bit sore, take a little breather. I've got no problem with you taking 3-second breather, reset your position, and then work on a position of strength. And just to keep doing an exercise where your form starts to change. So keep a nice steady movement there. Okay, and relax. Okay, we've got the Superman exercise. Now, last time we did it on the knees. This time, here is your option. You can do it on your feet, where you lift an opposite hand and opposite leg. Now, if you're working on your core and it's developing a little bit of strength, you'll find that that is okay. If not, join me with a knee and your hand lifted. So you can always return back to the knees if you need to. So here's your two options. These Supermans off your knees, or if you've been working on your core strength, give it a go off the toes. It makes an easy exercise a lot harder when you're having to build that strong plank position in between as well. So you've got the option. If you want to make this harder, let me show you again. You're going to be on your toes, opposite arm, opposite leg. You've got that as an option, or you can stay on your knees. You've got just over 5 seconds to go. You pick the choice. Okay, relax there. Okay, next one is our renegade row. This is where you can take that press up position, bringing one hand into your shoulder, place the hand back down onto the floor, and you alternate the hands, keeping your body quiet and still. Let's get going. One hand comes in towards the shoulder, press it down onto the floor, take it over to the opposite side. Work strong, work slow, but get your body to develop the strength to hold this position. If you need to, you could do this on the knees. We've got a lot of work here on your hands, so if you're starting to find you're struggling on form, just drop to your knees, but maintain that same shoulders and hips level with the floor. Okay, if you can, be on the toes. That's where the tough work comes from. But keep control. Doing a great job. Last 5 seconds. Keep control still. You're almost there. And relax there. Okay, let's get the mats out of the way. We have now done your mobility. We've done your core. Now it's all about explosive power. I've got speed skaters starting in 5 seconds. Here they are. They drive from side to side. I want a big range of movement here. Let's get moving. Now, if this is too much range of movement, you can place a foot down onto the floor. So that's fine if that's where you want to be. But if you can, start to drive the arms and be in that really big dynamic movement. You've been going 15 seconds. Keep breathing for me. Stay in this low athletic position. Push from side to side. This is where you need to be strong, pushing your fitness. You think this is going to get you working? Wait until you come back around after the next couple of exercises. Remember, we do every exercise twice. That way then you can learn it and then maximize the potential and push yourself. This is all about power now. Pushing from side to side. Be dynamic here. And relax there. Okay, shake your arms and legs out. Let me show you some explodes. Feet turned wide. Remember the big deep squat we did earlier? Well, now what we're going to do from this deep position, you're going to jump, bring your heels together, and land back into that jump. Okay? Your option is to not take the feet off the floor and just bring the feet underneath the body. So these are our pop-up squats that we've done before, or these are your explodes. This is where I want you to try, and then especially on the second round, if you want to get after it today, and you want to push your fitness, these explodes are a great way of working with dynamic fitness. Deep squat position. Try and keep your back straight. Big range of movement. Try and push yourself. You've got just over 10 seconds left to go. Kicks go low. Back stays straight. Jump those feet to touch and then replace them back where they were. And relax there. Woo. That would have got your heart rates up. Okay, here's what we've got coming up. You have got power lunges. So 1 foot down towards the floor. Jumping your lunges from one side to the other. Here's your alternative. A step back lunge if you need it. Let's go. Back stays straight. Back knee goes down towards the floor. Use your arms to drive and keep a dynamic movement, creating a little bit of stability as well. Now this is definitely going to push your fitness. So try and get that back knee down. Keep quality good. You will fatigue doing these. 20 seconds of work to go. Keep pushing yourself, keep pushing. Get going, get going, get going. 10 seconds left. Stay with me, every single rep if you can. Keep the depth. And relax there. Okay, you now know the 3 exercises. Let's bring those 3 together again. Let's get you working hard. Speed skaters starting in 5. Woo! It's a hard workout, this one. Let's go. Let's push it. Drive those arms. Push from side to side. Make it dynamic. The bigger you can travel, the better. I'm going to need to be a little bit quieter because I catch my breath from working hard. Try and stay with me as you can. If you want to go quicker than me, great, go for it. Try and get the heart rates up. Remember, we did mobility, we did core. This is where your fitness is. It's all in this one round. Trying to push yourself hard. 10 seconds to go. Last 5 seconds. Come on, keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. Keep working hard. And relax. Woo. Explodes coming up. This is deep. Okay, let's keep this working. Feet turned out wide. Hips down low. Jump the feet together. Land into that explosive squat. And let's move this. 45 seconds. If you need a breather, that's fine. I want to try and challenge you to keep a rhythm going. Let me show you the option if you need it. You just jump your feet together on the floor and then jump back out wide again. So that is your pop-up squat, or stay with me with the explodes. Just over 20 seconds. Keep your back straight. Focus on the depth. Remember the work that we did in the mobility. Getting into that deep squat. Think about the strength in the core, where we practice getting your back to be straight. Now bring these together with a big dynamic leg movement. And relax there. Oh, good work. It's tough. One more exercise. Then I'm going to take you through a cool down. Power lunges. Starting in 5 seconds. Knee down towards the floor. Woo. 3, 2. Let's go. Dynamic movement again. 45 seconds between you and the finish line. Let's keep a rhythm. Back knee down. Back stays straight. Keep looking at something to help keep that eyesight. It might be the screen. Could be a picture on the wall. Just keep that dynamic movement deep. 20 seconds of work to go. 15 seconds, come on, keep going, keep going. Every single rep with me. You can do this, come on. I know it's burning, stay with me, stay with me. 4, 3, 2. Oh, well done. Well done, that should leave you breathless. Woo. Great work, well done everybody who stayed with me there. Okay, let's let your breathing come back to you. Let's start off with some overhead body movements, chest stretches to begin with. Lift the arms out in diagonal positions. Okay, deep chest stretch, bring your hands behind you. Lift your chin and chest up tall. Just hold this chest stretch. Listen to that breathing. You've worked hard. Good work, good work. Okay. Bring your hands together. Reach them tall. Side bend over to the side. Leaning. Try and keep your arms above your head. Bring yourself back to the center. You're not leaning forward, it's over to the side. Good, bring yourself back to the center. Shake out the arms. Take a seat down to the floor for me. Lie your legs out straight. One foot comes over your thigh. Bending at your knee. Push through your hands to bring your chest towards your shin and where the knees are. And just let your breathing come back down. As you take these nice deep stretches to release the tension. Let's swap the legs over. Good. Again, bring the chin and chest closer to where your shin and your thighs are. Get that deep stretch through the glutes. Let's get a nice little cheeky stretch for the quads here. Good work. Okay, let's take you over onto your front. We're going to take you through a couple of yoga movements here to help stretch out the body a little bit more. First, it's called an up dog. Hands underneath your shoulders, up onto your tiptoes. Now lower your knees down to the floor. Allow your hips to push to the floor. Chin and chest lifts up. The gaze of your eyes look up towards the sky. If you're outside, you're really up to where the ceiling and the walls start to meet in the corners. Roll your shoulder blades back. Now push into your hands. Transfer your weight backwards. Just adjust your feet. And what I'm looking for you to do now is get a stretch to the back of your legs. Now just walk this downward facing dog. So pedal your heels slowly up and down, just so you get a nice stretch for the calves. And just pause for a second. Let's bring it to up dog again. Chin and chest lifts up. This time my knees are off the floor, but you can rest them on if you need to. Again, peel your shoulder blades back and down. Let's push with the hands into downward facing dog again. Okay, now my left foot is going to take a really large swing backwards, big step up towards my left hand. If I need to, I can physically move that foot to get it into position. Now reach your left hand up high, push your back heel away from the rest of your body. So that way then you get a nice stretch all the way through. I love this stretch. It's called the world's greatest running stretch. Really good. Mobilizes a lot of joints, stretches a lot of muscles. Let's bring the hand down on the inside of your left foot. Step back down facing dog and transition. Right foot towards your right hand. And again, reach up nice and high. Push your back heel away. Reach your fingers up high to the ceiling. Get a deep stretch. Now bring that right hand back inside the right foot. Step your feet close together. Rest your knees onto the floor as you curl up for your spine. Slowly roll up through each vertebrae. Just shake your body out. Fantastic work. Thank you very much for joining me for this Matrix Fitness workout. My name's Matt. We will be back again at 5 o'clock this evening to do this workout again. So if you've been checking out the exercise and you want to join us later, we look forward to seeing you there. Take care, everyone. See you soon.